please do not ruin your journey because of others. We're living in this extremely fast-paced world where everything is so easy to reach, and we have never been in this kind of society where you want it, you got it, with a click, by snapping your fingers, or just simply by even speaking through your phone, and a moment later you get adverts about it. That's insane. Everywhere you click online, if you want to learn a language, for instance, 2 weeks classes, get these results quickly, become fluent fast, become the best, Spanish speaker in 5 months, learn X language in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with efficiency. I love efficiency. I am obsessed with the idea of being tech savvy and also achieving your goals and optimizing anything you can. I love it. I'm a fan. So I'm not here to say, no, you should study the old way. That's not what the video is about. I was sitting here now, it's 1 a.m. Actually, I've just written a Substack on perfectionism. Actually, I still have to upload it. However, nevertheless, I've realized I have abandoned so many of the things I love about language learning and about my hobbies. It's like I've stripped away what I loved about these events, these things, for the sake of dexterity. I feel like we are removing everything that makes something worth actually doing. We are repurposing everything. So I have a hobby I enjoy, but I can monetize that. So I'll remove the element of uncertainty around the hobby in order for me to make it efficient, in order for me to monetize that. Hence, that's not a hobby anymore. That's your work. That's a job. And let's just talk about language learning for a sec, because that's what the channel is about. That's something that interests me quite a lot. But you could probably apply this to other spheres of your life. But this happened to me with languages, because languages are not only a hobby for me, but that's also my job. That's my living. So for obvious reasons, I want to be efficient, and even making this video, it feels like something which is not efficient. The lighting is awful. Like, I've just put this plant in order to make this video a little bit more aesthetic. But I'm loving filming this. And I'm probably going to love this video more than I've enjoyed filming other stuff, which was efficient. Let me ask you this question first. I love asking questions because while I'm talking about this, you can also think about your case. What do you enjoy about the language you're studying right now? Because I have noticed quite recently that I had stopped learning the languages because I found them fun, but I started because I had to. Like, recently, everything I've done with languages was because I had to. I've gone back to watching video essays on YouTube. So videos in which people talk for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, and they talk about deep topics. They talk about phenomena. They talk about feelings, philosophy. And that's something I've always adored and I've always done in English. For some fortunate reason, I had an essay appearing in my on my feed, and I thought, I haven't seen one of these in a while. Recently, I've been watching a lot of rubbish. All of that was just to be more efficient, just to learn what I needed to learn. and not for the sake of watching something I would love to watch. Full stop. Even TV shows, like I felt like TV shows were a waste of time if I did not watch them to improve in a language, which is bullshit. Because if you like a TV show, if you like watching TV shows, and Paulina, hello, my name is Paulina, I love watching TV shows. I'm so fond of shows. I've been watching now Silo. I'm obsessed. And I realized, why the hell have I stopped watching TV shows? Why the hell have I stopped looking for films? Yesterday I cried watching a very simple drama comedy. I don't know what type of film that was. I've watched it in Italian, so I don't know the original title. It's something similar to Messages to Isabel. I've watched The Odyssey, of course, by Nolan. Loved it. I have watched Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And all of these films, which are quite different one from the other, they gave me something. They showed me something. And I said, why the hell have I not seen a movie in so long? Just for the sake of watching the film. And not, I have to study a language, so I'm watching the film because I have to improve in the language. And I get it, because maybe you're studying for an exam, maybe you're moving to another country, maybe your goal is to get a certificate. So of course you want to make the process as smooth as possible. And you need to work on vocabulary, on grammar, pronunciation, and nobody is taking that away from you. Nobody's telling you not to. But why are we depriving ourselves of the fun part? When did we decide as a society that you need to be in pain to deserve success? When did we decide that the moment you go through bad stuff, that's when you have some, foundations to become successful, and or you'll have something to say. The impact of somebody saying, yeah, I studied a language for years and years and years, and I was a failure, and then one day the neurons clicked, and my eyes opened wide, and I became this insane speaker. Of course, that story is so inspiring, because the story of, I had a method and I actually enjoyed learning this language, and it was fun, and I learned throughout the years, and it was all right. If you're saying that in this way, you're not making views, you're not attracting the people's interest. When did we decide that you must lose something in order to deserve achieving your goals? Like, you're not a true winner until you can prove you've lost something along the way. You've lost something in the process. And we do this by removing the poetry and the beauty of what we're doing. I'm a victim of this as well. Like, I was learning recently and it felt so off, because I stopped doing the things I love for the sake of brevity, for the sake of being more efficient, being faster. I have to try 10 different methods, and I have to do A, B, C, D, E, because I can make content about it. I can just be smarter about it. Even though I didn't enjoy a lot of things. We love the stories where the underdog gets their revenge. We love the impossible kind of success stories. If the process is not smooth and it's not easy, that doesn't make you honorable, I think. It just means that life can be boring. Actually, life is boring sometimes. Frequently. Life is unfair. There are so many disadvantages we get along the way which don't derive from our choices. I think that life can be so unfair and so hard without us playing any part in it, because we don't have control over so many things. And damn it, this year my ass has been kicked in so many ways. Like, this is probably the second hardest year I've been alive. God knows how many years, which will be hard, are to come. I have no idea. But this year has been challenging. So why am I depriving myself of the things that can make it a bit more joyful? Why am I removing deliberately those things which would make my day a bit more peaceful and a bit more interesting, maybe, for the sake of efficiency? Fuck off. I don't want to share this idea of take your entire life to do the things you love. Take your time. Yeah, but if you're efficient, that's amazing. And I love achieving things quickly. But I don't have to suffer throughout the entire process of it. You could have both. I love efficiency, so I want to be efficient. But I can also watch video essays. I can watch TV shows. I can do things which are non-relevant for my progress, but they make the process fun, joyful, beautiful. Like, my journey is beautiful. If I think about learning English, there were days in which it was awful because I hated studying various things. I didn't like it, but I had to. And studying those things made me efficient in my English learning process. But there were so many things I did which made me fall in love again and again and again with the language. And the same goes with other languages. Like, recently, I have encountered 2 French guys here in Krakow. I'm in Krakow now. I met 2 French guys and I was stunned because I kept repeating. I kept saying, I have not made any progress in French. I'm not good in French. And then, because of my mom, because she started a conversation, because she is the extrovert, not me, she started speaking with them, and she doesn't speak a word of English. She doesn't speak a word of French. She doesn't speak a word of French. And she managed to speak with them. And then I got to know that they were French, so I spoke a little bit of French. And I knew how to say everything I had in my mind. And I said, that's fun. That's cool. Why do we keep ruining our journey? And why are we our anti-heroes? I am the biggest limit to myself in this, because if you make the journey ugly, if you are forcing yourself to do some things and you remove the beauty behind that journey, at some point, unless you have to study the language for a certificate, to move abroad, blah, 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 you'll stop learning the language. Or at least, just like in my case, you'll find yourself struggling because you have all the means that you need. You have all the books, all the materials, you know the theory of what you have to do, but you're missing the magic of it. And language learning is, I'm romanticizing the thing now, but it can be magical, it can be fun, it is fun. And meeting those 2 guys, it made it fun for me. That's why I always recommend also going on a trip if you can. I know it's expensive, but every time I've traveled or every time I've met somebody from another culture, I've understood how important it is to do something which makes it more poetic, more entertaining, more insightful as well. It's not just books, it's not just rules, it's not just efficiency, it's not just AI. So don't ruin your journey, please. Think of what you love about languages and do it. And maybe you're not making any progress with that, but you're demonstrating to that language why you love it. And the language, I promise you, will reciprocate. It's 1:20. I'll go to sleep. I have not done a video like that in a while, so I hope you like this kind of chats. Let me know if the plant helped with the aesthetic thing, and I'll go remove my makeup and I'll go to sleep. Thank you so much.